Game with Southwestern Oklahoma State after their 71-65 win over Emporia State, Central Regional Quarterfinals. Today we've got head coach Kelsey Music, senior Haley Tucker, sophomore Bethany Franks. We'll start with an opening statement from the coach and open the floor for questions for all three. Coach.
You know, I felt like my team played a little bit tight in the first half, but once we kind of settled in, you know, as we went into the second half. But I think the biggest difference was that fourth quarter. We were able to kind of get into our press and do things correctly. And when we made that run and we took the lead, I thought that was the difference maker. You know, my team fought hard and did well, but at the same time we made some mistakes we got to be able to fix.
Any questions for the three?
Question for Haley Tucker. Your team was up by 3 with about a minute to play, maybe less than that, and you went to the line to basically essentially ice the game. And you missed the first one, but then Tyra Aska came up to you between shots and said something. What did she say to you?
You know, we try to keep each other's head, and you know, those are 2 big free throws, and you know, I don't essentially miss free throws ever, and you know, as a senior, I really pride myself in that, and so missing that first one, you know, it completely threw me off, and so Tyra just came up to me, and you know, she's one of the leaders on the team, and she's only a junior, and she was just like, you know, keep your head, you're fine, you're gonna make this next one, let's go. Same thing I would have told her if she missed it.
Coach, in that first half, how big was Bethany for you guys? Yes, you seemed to focus really good on taking Hayden out of the picture. She only had 3 or 4 points at halftime, but I think with Bethany only had missed 1 shot. So how important was she to kind of keep you guys in the game in that first half?
I think she's a vital part of what we do. I think the last few weeks, especially at the Great American Conference Tournament, she really stepped up and showed what she was capable of with her mid-range game, and she's continuing to bring that every day, and that's what's important because we've got to have that post presence in the paint and that mid-range game from her as well. But she was huge for us, especially in that first half, and I thought in the second half she got some huge rebounds that were key for us to be able to take the lead and maintain it.
Rebounding in the fourth quarter. I know the stats say that yes, you won the battle of the boards, but that fourth quarter when you guys flipped the scoreboard again, it just seemed like you guys were the ones that came away with a lot of really tough ones.
Yeah, that's just at that point heart and hustle. She told us, you know, you have to get every rebound, and that's what it took. You know, I didn't care where the ball was. I was going to try to go find it. So, just having a lot of heart and just going to get it there at the end because we really needed it.
This one's for all 3 of you. Start with you, Coach. You're down by 8 at the end of the third quarter. Between quarters, before you started making the comeback, what did you tell your team?
You know, I told them that we've been down before. I felt like they were pressing and forcing things in that third quarter as if there was only 3 minutes left in the game and we had a whole nother quarter. So the first thing I did was tell them to relax. We still have another 10 minutes to play after this, and they kind of settled in and relaxed. I mean, there's been a lot of moments that we've been down, but I felt like that's when they really made that transition, and they realized that, hey, we got to go right now. We got to get some stops. I told them 3 stops. We need 3 stops, 3 scores. We're right where we need to be.
And then Hayden kind of helped you guys spark that comeback. She had 7 key points, including the 3 to tie it, I believe it was. And just kind of, what was the team thinking, do you think, after that? How about you, Bethany, on that one?
We've been here before. Just finished at that point. We knew that we could do it. She kept telling us, like she said, 3 stops, and just slowly chipping away is what we did. And just having faith in each other at the end. We know we can hit shots. We know they're going to fall. So just having confidence at that point, and Hayden had extreme confidence. So just finish at that point.
Coach, they went 2 of 12 in the fourth quarter. Do you feel like maybe the pressure just kind of wears some teams down a little bit? Did you feel that kind of worked in your favor today?
Yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, most teams, if you look back at our scores throughout the year, they've stayed with us. There's been times we've been down at halftime, but it's that third and fourth quarter, especially I always feel like the last about 6 to 8 minutes of that fourth quarter is when you can kind of see the tide turn because we still have our legs, and I feel like the other team gets a little tired, and if we can get 1 or 2 steals, I feel like they get rattled, and so definitely we kind of wore them down a little bit, and that's kind of what our defense is designed to do.
In that first half, did you feel like Emporia State was kind of giving you the same troubles that you guys give a lot of teams? I think in that first quarter, you guys had the first 6 or 7 turnovers of the game, and you know, they're a team that likes to attack and get out transition and do some defensive pressure too.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing we addressed at halftime. I told them, you know, normally we have we force more turnovers than we make, and at that point we hadn't. And so we really had to make a change and turn up the pressure. I thought we were a little bit conservative on our traps. We were trapping a little bit late. And that hurt us a few times, but we had to turn up that initial pressure once they were coming down the floor. But, you know, we just had to settle in. I knew that they would come out and run that zone, and they're long and they're athletic. And so once we kind of settled in, it was a little easier for us to score.
Anything else for the players or coaches?
In that second half, Tabor Beer played a lot of minutes and finished with 8 points. Was there a reason that she was playing more than maybe somebody else?
Well, you know, I always try to ride the run, and Tabor came in, and it's her birthday, and she played great. So, you know, she'd earned those minutes. The one thing that Tabor does do is she's gritty, and she's not scared to get her nose up in the action and take a hit or whatever she's got to do for this team. But her defensive presence initially helps us. She hit those 2 big threes in the first half, but I really feel like her defensive presence it just helps Tyra be able to do some different things because we rely on Tyra Aska so much defensively. Once we put Tabor in there, that we have those 2 defensive presence, it makes a huge difference. So, I mean, Tabor earned her minutes today.
Got time for one more? Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.